Alright, so just got through watching Napoleon. It's snowing again. Side note, I did talk to somebody from the municipality about all this snow and how wonderful of a job they're doing because they're packing themselves in the back saying how great they are. You're gonna lie to somebody? Lie to somebody that doesn't know what the hell's going on, doesn't see it every day, because, yeah. But, I think they did a fair job with Napoleon. I feel that it was pretty historical. They didn't really pull any punches with him. They, I mean, he loved France. He loved Josephine, his wife, to the point that even though she had a few lovers, he still pretty well adored her and did what he could for France. And they, I think Ridley Scott did a pretty decent movie. Good job on the movie. It's long, 2.5 hours long, I think. It started at 4, and we just got out a little bit ago. So maybe just over 2 hours. That was after all the trailers and stuff. So when the movie started, I looked at my time, and it was at 4 o'clock, and it is now 6:40. So, and it are you gonna stop? Or are you gonna just keep fucking going because you're a dumbass? Are you a dumbass? Moron. Yeah, I'm gonna look at you and point at you, you fucking idiot. God, people are stupid. I have a big car going down the road. You pull it. Jesus Christ. Yeah. People are stupid. It is kind of humorous that if you remember Joaquin Phoenix from Gladiator, there is a few scenes, at least one scene I can think of off the top, where he is literally standing kind of in front of and to the side of a huge bust of Caesar, who is his father and murders in Gladiator. Oh, if you haven't seen Gladiator, I'm sorry, it's a spoiler. But if you haven't watched Gladiator, I'm sorry. I don't care. Yeah, it was pretty humorous. God. Yeah. So, God, what is freaking just nasty? Alright. I can kind of see. Alright, so, I thought it was a green light. That was the next light screen. Suck. There really isn't. I don't really recognize anybody in the movie aside from Joaquin Phoenix. It looked like they used a lot of unknowns for his generals and whatnot. Isn't that cute? She got little glowy cat ears and earphones, and it's just so adorable. But the cast was pretty decent. I mean, they found a whole bunch of aristocratic-looking people to sit there and be everybody, and you know that's kind of who was ruling France and England and all the others. I remember the story that when he invaded Russia, that he overextended and most of his troops died of exposure, because I didn't know that, or maybe they talked about it, but I don't remember, but apparently he invades Russia, goes to Moscow, which has been abandoned. There is nobody left in Moscow when he gets there. And apparently while his troops are sleeping, people go into Moscow and they torch it while they're all sleeping. So the Russians burn Moscow to the ground instead of allowing Napoleon to keep it. You are an idiot, aren't you? God, you're all stupid. So that was pretty interesting. And then he gets all pissed off and marches to St. Petersburg, where the Tsar has gone to, and that's when they fuck up and pretty much just get hosed. So it shows his shortcomings, which he was an egotistical person. It is apparent. He knew his shit. I mean, the man was a master at tactics. He, according to the end of it, he fought 61 battles and won, or he led 61 battles and won 60. He lost at Waterloo. That was his final, only because the combined might of the countries literally had overwhelming forces, and that was pretty much the only reason he lost, is because he almost beats the British, and then here comes a whole extra army of 100,000 fresh troops to fight. It's just insanity that they put that many people on the field just to beat him, because they had to. I mean, the man they put him in exile. He leaves the fucking island. And this is all history. There's no spoilers for the movie. He leaves the fucking island, comes back to France, and rallies 100,000 troops or more. He doesn't do it to take back France, which he probably should have to begin with. But he does it and basically goes back into war with all the other countries to sit there and try and take back everything that he had fought and taken. He conquered a good majority of Europe at the time. I mean, it's insane how much he actually took over. He did a good job of it. He was a great. I don't know if he was a great leader. I mean, they basically, he was just a captain. Gets promoted to general after his first victory over the British, but he was supposedly the captain in charge of the garrison that kills hundreds of Frenchmen and women who were revolting against the current regime after they took down the Queen and beheaded her. That's kind of where the movie starts, is her being taken out. But yeah, he rises to power because he's the best at what he does, and what he does is war. Like Patton, like MacArthur. And he had the morale of the troops. He's meeting an entire battalion of troops across a field as he's marching to France after he comes back from exile, and basically walks out in the middle of everybody and speaks his love of country and the soldiers, and they all just join him. It's just freaking insane. And I think that's when they realized they had to take him out and basically just keep him locked. They didn't want to kill him, probably because the troops would have, some of the generals probably would have revolted, and France would have gone back into civil war. So instead of killing him for the second time, they just exiled him. Should they have killed him to begin with? I don't know. He saved France. He united France, and he united the European leaders against him. So it's an interesting movie. It really is. Ridley Scott does good. He's a great director. I'm sure don't know how much CGI was used. I'm sure quite a bit. The fight scene over the ice kind of reminded me of the Game of Thrones when they were on that little island in the middle of. Good God, people are dumb. Run across the parking lot in the middle of the night, dark clothes, and don't get hit. But yeah, it kind of reminded me of Game of Thrones when they were on that little island surrounded by all the undead. Oh, I go to sleep. But yeah, it was kind of when you take out the entire army on the ice, which there was the Prussians and the Russians. That was when he kicked both their asses. So they didn't show all of his battles because apparently he had 61 battles. They did show enough where he fires the cannons into the pyramids. That had to be CGI because there was no way in bloody hell that that any movie company would be allowed to fire a cannon into the Great Pyramid. But yeah, apparently he fires the cannons into the Great Pyramids, and the Egyptian army surrenders in an instant. They all knelt down and said, "We're done." He was a great cannoneer. He really was. He knew how to place cannons, where to place cannons. Unfortunately, he had to do all that because nobody else knew how to do that. It made him a great tactician, but not really a great leader, to the point that and there was one instance where the British general or admiral, I think general, because they were on land, had to be general, stops one of his troops who's got Napoleon dead in his sights, and told him, "No, we don't shoot other generals because," which I think that's when the American Revolution troops decided that was how to win, was to take out the leadership. If they had shot Napoleon at that point, the majority of the troops in France probably would have routed and probably would have abandoned because their leader was gone. They back in that day, they did not teach the basic troop, the common fighter, how to take over if something happened. Whereas nowadays, at least in the States and in the Marines, I'm sure they do it in the Army and the Air Force. I was in the Army and Air Force, I was in the Marines. While we didn't know all the operational tactics and all the information, we knew enough that if shit hit the fan and our CO and our sergeants were taken out, the squad leaders and the fire team leaders had enough information to be able to continue the mission. Maybe not successfully, or to get those in our care and under our leadership somewhere where we could regroup. People are stupid. So if they'd have gone out and just started shooting the generals, most of the information that the generals held would have been gone because they were the only ones that knew it. The captains and the lieutenants, they didn't know shit. They knew enough to repeat the orders that were given. Napoleon would give the order to the general behind him. That general would then scream it out to the other officers, who in turn would yell it down the line and carry out the orders. If they'd have taken out the generals, all of those orders would never have been given. So, but we didn't kill the other generals because they were officers and gentlemen, and they were, like in Britain's case, most of them were knighted and barons and earls, and they had bought commissions, because the only people that could have commissions were people who would buy them. Very rarely did you actually get moved up in rank because of, to an officer, because you were exemplary back then. So I enjoyed it. It was good. It was long, 2.5 hours of just the movie. If you want to see something that looks pretty historically accurate and is a good movie, if you like Ridley Scott movies, if you like Gladiator, because the battle scenes are intense, it's definitely worth watching. If you don't want to go see it in the theater, fine, but definitely give it a watch when it comes out on stream. So I enjoyed it. This is my second movie this week. Usually I just watch one, but I was able to went and watched the Hunger Games ones yesterday and this one today. And I don't know, do you like my movie reviews? I just give my honest opinion of it, if I like it or not. I haven't heard anything bad about it. I haven't heard anything good about this. It's a Ridley Scott movie. If you like Joaquin Phoenix, if you like Ridley Scott, there will be no sequel. Yeah, he died in exile for the second time. He really did. I mean, could Ridley Scott do other historical accurate characters? Sure. There's lots of them out there. I mean, we could do a good Genghis Khan. You could do a good. We already had a few of them. But yeah, it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. Good popcorn movie, and there was a lot of people there, surprisingly. So a lot of people evidently want to go watch it. So join the crowd. It's Thanksgiving week. Maybe, if you don't have anything to do, I myself, I got to work in the morning on Thanksgiving, because the joys of moving up in the world, you got to go in and do the stuff that has to get done every day. You got to make pizza dough, because we need pizza dough, and if we don't make it on Thursday morning, we won't have any for Saturday. It's got to sit for 2 days. So yeah, I had to go in for a few hours at least and make pizza dough and some other stuff. And so, yay! Y'all have a good Thanksgiving if you celebrate, or Friendsgiving, or whatever the hell you want to call it, or Turkey Day, or or just go to the movies because you don't have anything else to do, and you're actually off because your company is gracious enough to close for the day. Hey, some people do that. We were almost open Thanksgiving. Everybody's like, why? I don't know. But this is my movie talk, and I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to run to the store here, get a couple of things, and hope y'all have fun. I think there's a movie coming out this weekend. We have a few Marvel movies coming out. Aquaman's coming in a few weeks. I don't know how well it's going to do, because the DC leadership fucked it up so bad, and the people at Warner Brothers, for some reason, hate DC, the movies. I don't know why. It boggles the fucking mind. Marvel has made so much money that Disney bought the whole fucking thing and realized that to make all of the movies they wanted, they had to buy Fox so they could have all of the Marvel characters. And then they made this humongous deal with Sony so they can have Spider-Man. DC keeps fucking everything up. My God, it is insane just how bad they've gotten. I mean, Momoa as Aquaman kind of works. And then Marvel went with their version for Namor. Yeah. They really fucked up with the Flash. And now I'm hearing rumors that Silver Surfer's going to be female. I just wish they would just do characters how they are. If you want to sit there and change something, we have DC has Elseworlds. Oh my God, have they made humongous, awesome versions of alternate characters in the Elseworlds comics. And they've done a couple of animated stuff. Don't sit there and take an established character. It's like, okay, we're going to make a Wonder Woman movie. However, to make things interesting, we're going to make Wonder Woman male. I mean, seriously, is that how this works? You want to gender bend and stuff? Okay, fine, you can sit there and do whatever, but holy crap, at some point you just got to stop. But that's my rant. Anyway, I got to get going. It's 20-some minutes already, so I'll talk to y'all later.